Hello everyone, welcome back to EduTap. I welcome you back to the basic concepts of management series. So today we'll be continuing discussion on management. Till yesterday we covered certain topics from leadership. Today we'll be starting with general management, and today we'll be just quickly understanding what are the basics of general management, and from tomorrow we'll take up different theories of general management. So stay throughout to just understand the basics. Let's begin the session. Before beginning the session, if you are new to EduTap, I have a very good news for you that we have at EduTap are presenting a comprehensive guidebook which would be answering all your common queries in a definitive manner. Let it be about the exam as a whole, the pattern of the exam, the strategy which you have to follow, the cutoffs which were prevailing. Not just that, you can also get to know the proper resources, the salaries and the perks which you could receive eventually, everything. All these information is very basic in nature, and sometimes, and rather than sometimes, most of the times we do not find these informations gathered in a single platform. So we are making this process very easy for you so that you can save your time and directly start your preparation. And most importantly, this guidebook is absolutely free of cost, so you should download it from the description link given below. Now let's begin today's session. Firstly, let us understand what is management as a whole in general. There were various people who came from different fields and they had different viewpoint about management. So we can say that we cannot, standardize the definition as a whole. But let's say, for example, Marion Parker, he defined management as the act of getting things done by others. But eventually it came to be known that it is not just the act of getting things done by others, but management consists of a much bigger process. And this is a traditional viewpoint of management wherein you get to get the work done by others. But when you look into the broader aspect of management, management is much more than just getting the things done by others. So, what does it include? The first step which comes in the management process is decision making. Why do you need to do certain tasks? How can you do the task? To whom can you delegate those tasks? Everything. And, just deciding, deciding the ultimate goal because of which you are taking this decision. That is the first process of management, that is decision making. The second process of management is staffing. As I said, you what do you mean by staffing? In simple words, staffing can be remembered as recruitment of the right people. Not everyone is designed to do every task, so we have to hire the right people who can carry out the task in a perfect and an effective manner. Apart from apart from recruitment, I mean, it also includes various factors like training the people, continuously monitoring them. All this comes under staffing. The third parameter of management is motivation, which means you have to constantly motivate your subordinates or team members to carry out the task in a willingful and an effective manner. And lastly, the other final component is controlling. You have, after looking through all the steps, you have to create an environment wherein you as a manager have to look that everything is done in a controlled way, which means the situations are in control, the production is not going wrong, etc. All these things come under controlling. So there is one key thing which you should remember. All these steps, let it be decision making, staffing, motivation, or controlling, when you read them theoretically, you can find them to be a different aspect of management. But you have to keep in mind that these four of them, work hand in hand. It this is basically a continuous process, and all of them are interlinked. You cannot just say that I'm making the decision so I'm managing. No, you have to carry out all these processes to successfully complete a task in a manageful way. Okay. Now that you have understood basics of management, now let us see what was, the technicality given in terms of management. So Henry Fayol was the first one, who gave the clear definition of management. Okay, Henry Fayol was the first one who gave clear definition of management. And according to Henry Fayol, there were 5 important functions of management. Okay? What were the 5 important functions? Planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and control. So, according to Henry Fayol, a manager initially had to plan the task. Why planning is important? Planning, it acts as a bridge. Keep in mind that planning, it acts as a bridge between whom? Your present situation and your future situation. So this is what planning does. Matlab, if you want to achieve something, you are, let's say, at a point A, wherein you decide that I want to produce 500 units, let's say, of chips. In how many days? In 1 month. So if you plan this whole task properly, after 1 month you will be able to complete the production of 500 units or 500 packets of chips. So this is what planning does. It bridges the, situation between the present and the future situation. I hope planning was very simple. The second thing which Henry Fayol said, that once the manager plans certain tasks, he has to organize these things in a proper way. What do I mean when I say organize? When I say organizing, I simply mean that the manager has to assign the tasks. He has to assign the tasks to whom? The right people. He has to assign the tasks to the right people. He has to continuously, monitor them, that whether they are able to do the task or not. If, say, there requires some more number of people who have to be hired, he has to carry out all that in case of organizing. Now, once he has organized the given situation, he starts commanding. मतलब he orders people to carry out task. Time boundation, एक time boundation देता है. He tells that you have to complete the task in this given time. Then comes coordination, and then lastly controlling, that is looking that all these parameters or all these 5 functions are going hand in hand. But modern view of management felt that this coordination is not a function of management. It felt that coordination is the basic essence. Modern view, who gave modern view? सबसे पहले Cones and Donnan. They felt that coordination is not a factor, rather it is the basic essence. Like, planning is, primary for any management activity. They also felt that coordination is very essential and it is the basic essence, and we should not see it as a function of management. So eventually these people, they gave the following 4 functions of management. What were the 4 functions? Planning. So what does planning exactly mean? Let's say there is a task to be done. Now planning tells you, it answers you 3 basic questions. What are the 3 basic questions? That how a work has to be done. The first question. Second, when the work has to be done. Okay? And fourth, what has to be done. Third, what has to be done. So this is what planning, if I say you represent planning diagrammatically, it answers 3 questions. How are you supposed to do a task? What are you supposed to do? And when are you supposed to do? This is what planning is. See, when I say planning, you need to keep in mind, as I said it bridges your current and the future situation. And you need to remember that planning is pervasive in nature. What do I mean? Pervasive in nature. Planning, it simply means that planning exists in every aspect of managing. Not just managing, it means that you cannot just plan once and you are done. It is a continuous process. It will take place in every action you take ahead. Okay? And it is a forward looking approach. Planning is a forward looking approach. ठीक है? I hope you understood what is planning. Now, when the next parameter according to modern theory, view of management was organizing. Now, what is organizing? As I have mentioned in this slide, organizing is nothing, you bring together the various resources, let it be the physical resources, financial resources which you need, the human resources which you need, and you club them together. Why do you club them together? So as to create a strong relationship or a meaningful relationship. And why do you need a meaningful relationship? To get the desired output. Okay. Now, after that, the next step which was suggested was staffing. As I said, you staff. What is staffing? It includes manpower planning. How many people do you need to carry out certain tasks? If let's say certain people are deficient, let's say you need 10 people for the organization, or let's say 10 people to carry out certain tasks, but you have only 6 people to do that task, then you will be recruiting additional 4 people. So staffing means recruitment, manpower planning. And not just that, once you recruit them, you cannot directly give them the setup and say that chalo you do the work. No, you have to train them, provide them with the appropriate training so that they work efficiently. And once they start performing well, you have to give them performance appraisal, and eventually when they start doing good, there is an aspect of promotion. All these factors are included in case of staffing. The next concept was directing, which means you will tell people how are you supposed to carry out the work. Let's say you recruited 10 people. Now you are going to tell them that how are you supposed to carry out the work. Direct them. Give them time limitations that you have to complete the task in this given time. Okay? This is what directing is, and eventually controlling. What is controlling? See, controlling simply means 4 things you have to keep in mind whenever I say controlling. See, let's say there is a certain task which was assigned to you and you decided to give it to your fellow employees. Okay? Let's say a higher authority gave you a task. So when you take up a task, the first thing which you do is you find a standardized result. When I say standardized result, what do I mean? That you fix a standard that this is how the output, the final output should be. Now, once you standardize that output, what you do is you see what was the actual output. Now, you must have fixed that, let's say you have to produce 10 units of chips packets today. This is the standard output which, let's say you say that you have to produce to your workers. But let's say actual output. What is actual output? Let's say the workers are not able to produce 10 chips packets. They are producing, let's say, 8 packets. So now, once that you have got these two values, you have to compare these two values. You will be comparing the standard results with the actual results which you obtained. So you will be comparing these two numbers, and eventually you will correct them. If why is there this deviation, you will find the reasons कि ये deviation production में क्यों हो रहा है. Is there any manpower issue or is there any technical issue? So as to why are you using the process of controlling? So that you can do cost reduction, then you can increase the overall efficiency. And when you do all this, cost reduction, overall efficiency of the worker is increased, what do? You get the optimum output. ठीक है, this is what controlling helps you to do. So what do you do in controlling? You fix a standardized output, then you compare, rather than you get or see the actual output, compare both of them, and if any correction is required, if there is any deviation of the actual output from the standard output, you suggest, sorry, certain measures of correction. And why do you do that? So as to increase the overall production, or let's say reach the maximum potential of the output. And when you do this, what happens? The growth of the management, or let's say the company, takes place as a whole. So I hope you understood what is the difference between modern view and Henry Fayol's definition. Okay, so this is what basics of management are. Now that you have understood what are basics of management, let us see how is the theory of management classified. So the classical theory of management, okay, is divided into three important aspects: the scientific theory, administrative theory, and bureaucracy theory. So who gave scientific theory? Scientific theory was given by Taylor. Administrative theory कौन दिया था? It was given by Fayol, again Henry Fayol. And bureaucratic management theory, you have to let me know who gave bureaucratic management theory in the comment section. So tomorrow we'll be discussing scientific theory of management and eventually these two theories of management. So I hope you enjoyed this session and understood what basically general management is, and how the general management definition of modern times and older times are different. So if you liked the session, press the bell icon to receive the latest updates on all regulatory body exams, and do join our Telegram channel to receive the link, the PDF of the session. The link of the Telegram channel is given in the description box, so do join the Telegram channel as well. Thank you. All the best. Have a nice day.